drive this truck and I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to make it into the dealership. Well, Rairdens of Monroe is actually bringing the vehicle to me. I gotta go. It looks like it's here right now. I'll call you back.
Too busy to schedule a test drive? Rairdens of Monroe will bring the test drive to you. It's part of our new concierge service. Personalized car shopping built for today's customer. It's another reason why Rairdens of Monroe is a customer service champion. Let us know what we can do for you.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need. Fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Everett Greenway in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
We come to you from Glacier Peak High School. The 2018 Top of the Peak Holiday Tournament is going on at Glacier Peak today. 4 games on the docket on the championship round. And we welcome you here on STSPN to the tournament. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer bringing you today's first game. And Joel, let's talk first about the field in this tournament. Outstanding field.
Wow. I mean, I was just talking to Brian Hill, head coach of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies before this, the founder of this tournament, the creator of it, if you will, and talking. I mean,
they're eventually they'll name it after him.
Oh boy, he would hate that. Yeah. But I'll be sure to name it after him years from now, just for that fact. But I said, Brian, how did you get all this? And he goes, hey, I went around at the end of last year and said, who are going to be the top 1 or 2 in their league, and I want to try to get them all to a tournament. And then the thing that I told him as a coach I don't like, the tournament style where you're going to be playing this time or this time. But, shoot, as a coach in this, you want to have those opportunities to play different people. If you win, you do move on. If you lose, you got to go back a little bit, maybe play earlier in the day. I think it's a fantastic format. It's a fantastic feel with all these great teams, too.
Well, we had Brian Hill on with us on our game last night between Chiawana and Lewis and Clark, and he used the phrase, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to being, as Ed Peppel would say, it's the Egg McMuffin game.
Well, and Tom, you greeted me and said, how many of these games have we done? Well, just about every game that you and I have done this early in the morning, Tom, is where? At the Tacoma Dome.
At the Tacoma Dome.
And so that's that thing where when you're at the Tacoma Dome, you're at the state tournament. And not only that, you're in the top 8. You're at the state. You're not the regional. You got to pass the regional round to do that. But it's that opportunity to play a great opponent, a state caliber type game, if you will, and we're not putting these teams into the state bracket or anything, but a state caliber type game early in the day. When you go, if you go to the Dome, you've experienced playing earlier at a different time slot than the regular 7:15 nightly slot. So this is a great thing for both these teams.
Well, you know what? We're not putting them into the state tournament yet. Yeah, you can just about put all these teams into the state tournament. They're all good in their own leagues.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about of the 8 teams in this, just looking at these schools with Chiawana in the 4A, Edmonds-Woodway in the 3A, Glacier Peak in the 4A, Kentlake Falcons, I believe, in the 3A. Is that correct?
No, they're 4A.
There's 4A. Oh, they're 4A.
League,
okay, yep. Lewis and Clark in the 4A. Sunnyside is in the 4A. WF West in the 1A, but a very talented squad there. And Peninsula, 4A?
4A.
I mean, you
3A, I'm sorry.
Peninsula's in the 3A.
Yeah.
And you start looking at those ones in the different classifications. These are, I believe, teams that are all ranked in that top 10 or really close to that. And when you take 16 teams to the state, you take the regional round, of course, but to the state tournament, these are all schools that are really vying, that are at the top of their leagues, regardless of their record in this tournament that's loaded with talent. They're top in their leagues, which is what they're really trying to do, and that's what's going to put you in the state tournament.
So it's Edmonds-Woodway and Kentlake, and we will take a break, come back with the starting lineups and opening tip-off. It's the 2018 Top of the Peak tournament.
McDaniels is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniels the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniels and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniels.
I
We welcome you back here to Glacier Peak High School for the Top of the Peak tournament. The officials, Riaz Kanji, Jeremy Sapinski, and Dan Taylor. And we take a look at the starting lineup for the Kentlake Falcons. They'll be in the black uniforms. Jenna Stannard wearing number 1, Katie Wilton, Tony Thiebert, Desiree Lane, and Zahira Walton. For the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors, the home team today, they're in the white. AJ Martineau, Ingrid Fosberg, Maddie McMahon, Rebecca DeSala-Good, and Ann Okulu. And we are ready to go. And this is the game you really want to win because you don't want to waste an 0-3 weekend, right?
Well, it's not really how you want to spend your weekend going 0-3. But again, great talent, great teams. You're getting a lot better in this tournament. Regardless of your wins or losses, you're getting better in this tournament, and that's the thing that really matters.
Underway, T-Bert with it, 16 to shoot, first possession, baseline they go. Walton has to kick it back out, and it's going to be stolen away by Edmonds-Woodway. She kind of gets an underhanded pass, and McMahon will bring it up and travel with the basketball. The first turnover of the ball game goes right back over to the Kentlake Falcons. We're 25 seconds into a scoreless ball game.
AJ Martineau, point guard for the Warriors right there, saw her teammate open in the corner, thinking, oh, this is a great little shovel. Didn't take the one dribble she needed to.
So Kentlake with it. Again, black uniforms. Kentlake making the long drive up from Kent this morning, and a long 3-ball outside. Well, I guess the morning legs are okay right now.
Someone woke up. Now the thing that we don't talk about too often is, yes, this is a really early game to be playing basketball. What passing right there by the Warriors up the court. Ball only dribbled one time from end line to end line on that lay-in. Quite the drill. But most of these kids are in third period right now when they're not on Christmas break. So,
right.
Yes, early. Yes, you're not usually playing basketball this time. But most of the kids have been awake for a few hours at this point. So I know it's Christmas break, and I'm kind of in that sleeping in mode too. But these guys they're used to being awake at 10 o'clock.
There's a steal and a bucket by DeSala-Good. And suddenly the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors have awakened as well, and they take the lead in this ball game at 4-3.
Warriors in a 2-3 zone right now.
Back to the basket, to the baseline they go. Inside the lane. And we are going to have a foul called here. First foul of the ball game here, and it's going to be called on Edmonds-Woodway's Ingrid Fosberg. The 5'9" senior picks up the foul, her first personal, first team. Baseline out of bounds, Falcons, fresh 30 on the shot clock. In the corner, 3-ball, a little bit short, no good. Back up, no good. One more time, that one is good. Third time's the charm, Zahira Walton gets it, and it'll be a retake of the lead by Kentlake at 5-4.
Kentlake putting some, I'll call it token pressure, definitely trying to inhibit that inbounds right there, just putting a little full court pressure, but not getting back in time right there. Wide open 3 for the Warriors.
And the Warriors go out to a 2-point lead at 7-5. Kentlake with it. That's Walton. Dribble drive, goes around the defender, puts it up too hard, no good. Who's got it? Right back into her teammate, Lane, no. She'll have to earn him at the stripe. Pretty good rebounding team.
I was just gonna say, Tom. I go right now. You look at Edmonds-Woodway; they're getting kind of what they want on the offensive end, starting to kind of mesh for them. Kentlake's not really getting back in time right now. But man, Edmonds-Woodway has given up a couple second chance points right there. They're giving up 2 free throws. Missed that first one right there for Lane, but with Lane being a 6-footer and Walton being 5'10", but plays a little taller than that already that we're seeing. Edmonds-Woodway's got their hands full with that 2-3 zone. It is tougher to box out. It is tougher to sometimes get those offense or those defensive rebounds. Kentlake's gonna really be crashing the glass to see if they can't get those second chance points.
That's a free throw good. It's 7-6 the score. Edmonds-Woodway here at Glacier Peak with the lead. They're the home team. They're in the white uniforms. They're shooting the ball, and they're hitting a 3-ball deep in the left-hand corner. Brooke Kearney, who just checked into the ball game, and she's checked it out, and everything seems to be fine for her.
Well, it's one of those things that day 3 of this tournament, well, these kids have played in this gym a lot in AAU. They've played in a lot in non-league games for Edmonds-Woodway. Not necessarily Kentlake, but Kentlake's 3rd day in a row in this gym. You get to know gyms pretty fast, the lighting, the feel of it, and you get pretty comfortable shooting in them. So it doesn't surprise me that these kids are going to be pretty darn comfortable with this.
Tony Thiebert with the bucket there. It's 10-8 Edmonds-Woodway. Warriors with it. Talking with John Rasmussen before the game, early when everybody was arriving. first night they shot 13%, and yesterday they shot 11%. He said he was wondering how Glacier Peak has the technology to make the hoop get smaller whenever they shoot on whichever end. He says, we can shoot 11% with the lights turned off. He said, just turn the lights off and we can shoot that way. They're not shooting 11% today, by the way.
No, definitely not. I mean, those are pretty staggering statistics, which explains to me, well, explains to me why they're playing in the 10 a.m. game right there, shooting 11%, 13%. But it is one of those things. It's kind of one of those mantras, and Edmonds-Woodway is one of the best three-point shooting teams in our area, maybe the best actually, as a full range of the entire team, not just one or two individuals. And they got a number of girls that can put it up and shoot those threes, and Coach John Rasmussen loves that philosophy. But sometimes you have that live by the three, die by the three mentality, where if you're not hitting, oh man, it's pretty rare you all go cold on the same night. But if you do, oh boy, it could lead to an 0-2 tournament so far.
Fiebert try to earn a third. She can't, but back up, no good. A miss by Walton. Gets another rebound. Outlet to the top of the key, and there's a steal. It's going to be taken away by Edmonds-Woodway. Grabbed by DeSala, good. She'll think better of going underneath, and they'll set up a half-court offense. Near side, Martineau. Down the corner, good ball movement here. Dribble drive in, a block in there. Desiree Lane gets it, and here comes Kentlake with the basketball.
It's a pretty athletic block right there.
13-10 score for Edmonds-Woodway. A little runner that didn't really have a chance. Then they scrapped for it, and Edmonds-Woodway will pick up the loose ball, and up the floor they come. Long outside three. She's feeling it. Britt Kearney, that's two in a row from just about the same spot.
Oh boy, and that's a great job by A.J. Martineau for the Warriors, getting that ball and pushing with an up pass, pitching up the court right there.
Long outside three ball, admired it, but it didn't go in. Zahira Walton.
I'm pretty sure that's not what Coach Morgan Comstock from the Falcons wanted right there, was her star rebounder sitting outside shooting a three right there. Not an awful looking shot, but when you're rebounding with the dominancy so far the Falcons have shown, you want those rebounders inside for those second chance points.
Coach John Rasmussen working the officials. He didn't like that travel call down here. I thought maybe it was questionable when she knocked the ball up in the air, but here's a shot. Up and good. Desiree Lane for Kentlake. Pulls them to within 4 at 16-12. 2:50 to play, first quarter.
That travel call, of course, it's a person-by-person judgment.
Yeah.
Everybody, all three refs in this court might have called it differently. Who knows?
Another three. A.J. Martineau, turn off the lights. That's what Kentlake's saying. Okay, Coach Rasmussen, if you prove it.
Yeah. Prove it and turn the lights off. We'll go with it. No, and that's one of the hard things, and I think just about everybody, and once you've seen teams for a couple days, a lot of times it's for Kentlake, for the coaching staff, for them, they've seen Edmonds-Woodway probably play the last couple days, or might have heard what they did. And Edmonds-Woodway, it's no secret, they love to shoot the three. Oh!
Jenna Stannard, speaking of loving to shoot the three, buries it and makes it a 4-point ball game again, coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Big bucket right there for Stannard. She had some big shots last year at the state tournament as a freshman.
That's another one right there. If you're keeping track, that's 3 straight for Brooke Kearney. Feed it to the person that's hot.
And that can be more than one person on this Warrior team when you're shooting from deep.
Well, and raise your hand if you would be surprised to see Edmonds-Woodway in the Tacoma Dome coming up the final day of February.
I will not be surprised if they make it to the Dome.
Long outside shot, but that's where these games are big. RPI depends on where then. Are you going to be a 9 seed? Are you going to be a 12 seed? Are you going to be a 3 seed?
Absolutely. And I will say, Edmonds-Woodway, one of the things that they do really well is shoot. One of the things that you want to see improvement on sometimes from them, and just watching, they've been so hot shooting, but Kentlake's really kind of had their way inside so far.
Right.
And with those second chance rebound points, you want to be like, those are those important things that when you get to the end of February, early March of that state tournament, you've got to be really good at limiting second chance points.
Right. You get the rebound, that's just fine. Or when you get an offensive rebound, put it back up and put it in.
Absolutely.
Don't get another offensive rebound, that means you just missed.
Absolutely. That's one of those things you really got to focus on, defensive box outs. Where other teams are going to get shots. There's no doubt about that. But making them not great shots, tough shots, and then also only limit them to one. And that's something that I want to see just a little bit of a key to this game. Edmonds-Woodway is shooting so hot, and they go with a line change right there, if you will, but leaving a hot shooting Kearney in, though. Notice that one. But I'd love to see Edmonds-Woodway have a little bit better box outs on the defensive end and create less second chance points for the Falcons.
Maddie McMahon had picked up that foul. This is Katie Wilton at the free throw line for the Falcons. Won't go. There's a box out. 22-16 the score. And Edmonds-Woodway can't handle it. Goes out of bounds on the baseline with 50.8 seconds to go. Right back over to Kentlake, down by 6.
And if I'm going to give a key to the game for the Warriors, I'm going to give a key to the game for the Falcons right here.
Yep.
I want to see them on the defensive end really locate those shooters a little bit quicker. And it's hard because Edmonds-Woodway, a lot of times they'll have 5 players on the court that are all shooters. But locate those shooters in the hottest hands, if you will. The Brooke Kearney, for instance. There's another offensive rebound for the Falcons right there by Jenna Stannard.
And a 3 topside, that won't go. That was a miss by Walton. Shot clock is dead, and we've got a foul called in backcourt. They're going to get it. Naomi King of Kentlake will pick up the foul. That'll be only the second. No, is that the first team foul?
First team foul
for
the Falcons this quarter.
So full court pressure. Pretty easily broken here by Edmonds-Woodway. Feed it right. Oh, nice block from the side by Jenna Stannard. The ball goes out of bounds. Edmonds-Woodway retains possession. Shot clock's dead. We're at 18.7 to go into the quarter.
Great hustle by Stannard. That was going to be a wide open look right there for the Warriors. But she was able to run that down and get a block from behind.
And no foul.
No foul. It's clean.
They swing the perimeter here down to 12 seconds to go. Now baseline, 8 seconds to go. He's still swinging it down to 5, down to 4. Hot shooter, Kearney will miss, and that will be that. They're right at the end of the quarter, there will be a foul called. Are they going to put some time on the clock, or?
Looks like it's going to be a foul on.
Well, he hasn't reported it yet.
He is not.
Are they going to say that it happened post-horn?
So I'm curious to see here. What's he going to call right now?
Okay, they're going to call Kent Lake's Tony Thiebert with the foul. They've already put 8 minutes up on the clock. So what have we got? This is going to be an untimed down.
Oh, a 0.4 seconds.
Okay. Well, catch and
so
right?
There is enough time for it to catch and shoot.
Where's 20? Nope. Nope. Too long. Too long. Too long. Too long. There's a teaching moment, right?
Yeah,
for Coach Jan.
Absolutely.
If at some point we have that spot, we need to go catch you. Let's take a break. 22-16 the score. Edmonds-Woodway leading Kentlake into the first quarter here at Glacier Peak High School. More on STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200+ national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Welcome back. Here, Edmonds-Woodway and Kentlake relating a story. On our Prep Sports Weekly show, we had John Rasmussen on a week ago, and I said, they were talking about all their wins, and I said, Coach, but I need to talk to you about a loss to your only loss so far until this tournament. He goes, you mean to the University of Linden Christian? They had lost to Linden Christian, and they're awfully good. Maybe he said maybe the best team in the state. doesn't matter how many A's are in front of their school. So.
I don't know. I'm going to miss the green. We coaching for Snohomish for a number of years. We did a number of team camps, just Linden Christian, Snohomish, going up to Linden Christian and staying up there with their longtime, now retired coach Kurt DeHaan, one of the winningest coaches in girls basketball in the state of Washington. Phenomenal man, even a better man than he is a coach, and he's a phenomenal coach. But he would open up his house and let our whole program stay there and just have a great bonding time. And so we got to see Linden Christian a lot for a number of years, and they have some girls playing Division I volleyball at University of Washington that aren't playing basketball, but they did in high school, and oh boy, they're athletic. Oh boy.
So here's Kentlake with the basketball, down by 8 now, 24-16. Edmonds-Woodway with the lead in the top of the peak tournament. The last game of the 3 that these teams will play here in the tournament. Trying not to take last place and be 0-4 or 0-3 on the weekend. It's a 6-point lead now at 24-18. 6:50 to play in the first half. Edmonds-Woodway in the white uniforms moving to our right. Outside shot, right side. They're shooting better than 13% in this game. Ingrid Fosberg with the shot.
You know, and this is one of those that's so difficult. And I haven't watched much Edmonds-Woodway this year. I've seen him a lot years past, and coached against John Rasmussen for a number of years, and kind of know his stylistically. And but really, playing a zone defense against a hot shooting Edmonds-Woodway team is not
asking for trouble.
Not often the recipe for success. It can work. I'm not saying it can't. But right now, Edmonds-Woodway is getting what they want, which is a lot of open shots or a lot of open players.
Walton with the last shot for Kentlake pulls them to within 7 at 27-20. Another outside 3 ball, and another one goes down. Adrienne Poling. So even the players off the bench are draining threes.
Well, and Poling's a starter and has been for a while for them. And a lot of these players that are seniors for Edmonds-Woodway were up playing, starting as sophomores. So they're pretty comfortable in this setting.
Jenna Stannard buries a 3 ball, so it's the battle of threes here. Is a runner that will go. That's not a 3, that is a 2. So it's up and it is good. Maddie McMahon with the bucket for Edmonds-Woodway. 32-23, 5:23 to go in the first half. Kentlake in the black uniforms moving to our left. Stannard. Thiebert again.
Seeing Edmonds-Woodway being a little bit more aggressive with their 2-3 zone, extending a little bit more up top, a lot more arms raised.
Wide open. Down it goes. Tony Thiebert.
But sometimes when you get a little bit more aggressive with your zone, you overcommit a little bit, leave a wide open jump shot.
And it's 32-26, back to a 6-point lead. It's been as much as 10 in the ball game. Edmonds-Woodway just working for the open 3. Oh, no, they'll get an open 2, an open lay-in look, and up and good for Maddie McMahon, 34-26.
And this kind of has that feeling where it feels like every time I look at the scoreboard, it's like, oh, Edmonds-Woodway making that run, and then Kentlake has that timely shot, that 3, that offensive rebound put back for a 2, go to the free throw line, and they're able to keep it close and keep it very manageable. There's kind of that fear, though, that a couple back-to-back threes, maybe a 3 by Edmonds-Woodway, then a stop, and another 3 all of a sudden, that mini 3-possession run could really be trouble for the Kentlake Falcons.
Adrienne Poling picks up the foul. That's going to be her first. First free throw by Thiebert is good. 34-27, a 7-point lead. Kentlake lost both their first 2 games. Lost to Sunnyside 64-33, and yesterday lost to Peninsula, best game of the tournament, 62-60. To go 0-2 so far. Lane violation there, Riaz Kanji. And so, don't count it if it had gone in, and it'll be Edmonds-Woodway basketball. Up by 7, 34-27, 4:20 to go in the first quarter.
You know, Tom, we haven't really talked at all about the fact that Kentlake only has 2 seniors on this squad. And they were at the Dome last year, and they graduated a number of players off that team. But they're a young team in this tournament. This is a great tournament for Coach Comstock to put her team into this tough of a bracket, this tough of a tournament, and get a lot of good experience for these young players.
That's Adrienne Poling. And you said, in fact, Kentlake lost their best player to cross town, right?
believe there's a player that was on this team last year that's no longer on this team and has not yet graduated.
And we'll leave it at that?
We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Turn around, off the window and in. Up and good for Kentlake's Desiree Lane. 36-29. So, like you said, Kentlake just hangs around.
Absolutely. And
but they fall asleep on defense, but can't hit the reverse lay-in is Brooke Kearney.
And this is a team looking at this Kentlake squad with these sophomores, with Lane being a sophomore, Standard #1, who's hit a couple threes for him being a sophomore. Zahira Walton is a freshman for him. This feels like a team that
Katie Wilton.
Katie Wilton, another sophomore for him right there. You look at this team, you're feeling like they might struggle this year getting to the dome. They're young and you see some of these things, but this is a team when you got all these sophomores and a pretty star freshman in Walton on this team too, it will not surprise me next year, the year after that, when these guys are all juniors and a sophomore, seniors and a junior, that kind of thing, that the kind of talent that Morgan Comstock, who graduated from Kentlake as a graduate of there, is coaching this team to see if they can't make that run in a year or two. I'm not saying they couldn't this year, Tom.
Right.
But when you're young, youth tends to kind of show up at tough times. But this is a great opportunity to comfortably be uncomfortable.
To borrow a phrase from yesterday from Brian Hill.
No, that's not borrowed. That's stolen. That's
so
absolutely
you just
stolen. Yes.
Edmonds-Woodway, after the timeout here, they lost their first 2 games in the tournament as well. They got beat by Chiawana 60-43, and then got beat by 13 yesterday. And there's the Kentlake super fan with the Kentlake flag sitting down to our right here. You got to have a super fan.
You got to have one.
So the lead is 6 now. It was 4 for a moment until Kearney hit that previous lane just before the timeout. Long outside 3. Down it goes for Katie Wilton. She's hit a couple here in the quarter, and it's a 3-point ball game.
And John Rasmussen right there for Edmonds-Woodway. It changed from a 2-3 that he's been playing this whole half to a 1-2-2 right there. Trying to get a little bit more out on shooters, a little more extension. Great block right there by Lane.
Martineau tried to force it and then trying to force it on the other end, and a steal by Kearney. That's a nice pass, but we're going to have a foul called here. It's going to be on Tony T-Bird. It's going to pick up the foul. It's only going to be the 4th team foul with 2:21 to play, so neither team in the bonus here in this quarter or in the first half. T-Bird will take a seat on the bench the rest of the half with her 2nd personal foul. Baseline out of bounds, Edmonds-Woodway leading by 3. That turnaround won't go. Missed by Poling. And Kentlake brings it up and off the fingertips and out of bounds.
Good look by Standard ahead to Wilton, who just hit a couple threes from that spot just in the last couple possessions, but a little overthrow right there, a little aggressive wanting that. But, I mean, that's what we just were talking about. They're down 3. I mean, they're in this game absolutely. You kind of feel like Evans was going to make a run and pull away.
Right.
No, Kentlake's made the run.
Yep.
That was a misspeak by me. Kentlake made the run to get this back to a 3-point game.
Kearney looked at the 3. Fought better of it. Martineau back over. There it goes. She just needed to be reloaded there, and she put it up for a 3 ball.
I think she had to take a half step back right there.
Is that 4?
That's 4 threes, all from the same spot for Brooke Kearney.
41-35, a 6-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway. Minute and a half to play here in the first half of the Top of the Peak tournament. The battle for not getting last place. Steele, long pass, going down, laying up, missed it. Tapped back out, kept alive by Kentlake. Here come the Falcons. Wilton with it. Knocked away. Well, she's all over the place. Brooke Kearney. Ooh, I thought she was going to go up. Didn't. Poling kicks it in. Thought maybe an argument for a travel there, but Maddie McMahon gets the bucket. And we're going to have a timeout called by Edmonds-Woodway. As they take a timeout, we'll take a break. 43-35 to score. Edmonds-Woodway with the lead with 1:06 to go in the first half. More from Glacier Peak High School right after this.
As records tumbled and enemies cried, came the birth of a legend. But we did not sleep. We did not rest. With knowledge gained and lessons learned, a legend was born to search and destroy. the monster.
Here's Kentlake with the basketball. They work it underneath, and up it goes in by Desiree Lane. That's 43-37. About the time you think Edmonds-Woodway is going to make a big run, Kentlake keeps pushing their way back. Got to within 3. Down by 6 now. Warriors with the basketball, 34 to go.
And this is a really important possession right here for the Kentlake Falcons. Not only for just the score, but for momentum. If they're able to get a stop here, definitely a good feel going into halftime.
It's a miss and a corner 3 that won't go. And it's going to be...
Wilton thinking Standard was running with her right there. I think Standard was saying, let's just control this. Let's have the last shot. Unfortunately now for Edmonds-Woodway, they do get to take the last shot. So, no, Kentlake, don't hang your head. Got to play defense one more time here.
Down to 14 seconds to go.
Kind of like in a 1-2-2 zone right here.
10 seconds to go. That's Kearney. Down to 7, down to 6. They go inside. They're going to turn it over. Down to 3, down to 2. Can Wilton get it off? She goes too high with it and it won't go. We are at halftime. It's a 43-37 lead. High-scoring ball game here at Glacier Peak High School. 43-37, the score at the half with Edmonds-Woodway leading the Kentlake Falcons. We'll come back. Second half coming up right here on STSPN.com.
That Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
You know how I've been wanting to buy this truck and I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to make it into the dealership? Well, Rairdens of Monroe is actually bringing the vehicle to me. I gotta go, it looks like it's here right now, I'll call you back.
Too busy to schedule a test drive? Rairdens of Monroe will bring the test drive to you. It's part of our new concierge service. Personalized car shopping built for today's customer. It's another reason why Rairdens of Monroe is a customer service champion. Let us know what we can do for you.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreenway in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
You know how I've been wanting to buy this truck and I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to make it into the dealership? Well, Rairdens of Monroe is actually bringing the vehicle to me. I gotta go, it looks like it's here right now, I'll call you back.
Too busy to schedule a test drive? Rairdens of Monroe will bring the test drive to you. It's part of our new concierge service. Personalized car shopping built for today's customer. It's another reason why Rairdens of Monroe is a customer service champion. Let us know what we can do for you.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreenway in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
You know how I've been wanting to buy this truck, and I've been so...
We are getting set for the second half of action here at Glacier Peak High School, the top of the peak tournament. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer. Edmonds-Woodway with a 43-37 lead over the Kentlake Falcons here. Both these teams coming in trying not to lose all 3 games here in the tournament. WF West with losses to Lewis and Clark and a win over, Kentlake. Sorry. Look at the right sheet. Kentlake, we were talking about WF West during the halftime break. Sunnyside beat Kentlake 64-33. Peninsula beat Kentlake yesterday 62-60. Edmonds-Woodway lost both their games, lost to Chiawana on Thursday, lost to WF West on Friday, and we're back to action here. Kentlake very late coming out of the halftime locker room.
Well, their coaches still haven't even made their way over to the bench yet, but luckily enough players got out here and told the other ones, we got to go. And here they are with the ball.
Try to keep on time on the tournament. So here we go. Kentlake moving to, I keep wanting to say it because they're wearing black uniforms. Kentlake with the basketball, give it up. It's going to be Edmonds-Woodway ball. They're moving to our left in their white uniforms. They're the home team today, and they pick up right where they left off in the half, and Agri Poling buries a 3-ball.
When those threes are going down for Edmonds-Woodway, they are pretty tough to stop offensively, absolutely. But like Coach Rasmussen said, they shot 13% and 11% the last 2 games. So clearly you have those times when you go cold and things don't go well, as you can see when they lost twice. So when it's going in, it's going in. And it's going in for both sides, it looks like.
Zahira Walton with the 3-ball left wing. It's a 6-point ball game. So Edmonds-Woodway can't really put a lot of distance between themselves because Kentlake keeps fighting back. Here's another 3. Down it goes for Ingrid Fosberg. And it's across the board. It's everybody's hitting them.
Yeah. I would love to see Kentlake just work on maybe getting back in that half court. With that little pressure they're putting up top, it hasn't really netted them too many buckets or too many opportunities.
There's a miss by Walton.
But it's sure giving up a lot of open threes in the corners for Edmonds-Woodway.
I thought that was going to be another one, but they'll go out to an open, wide open Maddie McMahon, who says, pass it to me, I'll hit it from right here. Bang, down it goes. It's a 12-point lead, biggest lead of the game for Edmonds-Woodway.
And it's a nice job by Martineau right there, point guard for the Warriors, recognizing I have an opportunity for a decent-looking 3, but if I take that one dribble attack, I can get it to a great-looking shot for a teammate.
Dribbling in, Tony Tebert for the bucket and the lay-in. It's a 10-point ball game, 52-42. Your coaching just came out. What were you signaling?
Get back. It's that frustration seeing so many opportunities right here for the Warriors. They're able to break that press, and now we'll send them a 3-on-2. Well, when you got a team that's just shooting so hotly from the 3-point line with a number of different shooters, leaving them with a 3-on-2 is just a difficult thing to really match up with.
Stannard with the miss. Edmonds-Woodway with the basketball and a miss on the other end. Ingrid Fosberg, but they'll go out, reload, 3-ball, no for Poling. Here's another one. How about this one? Nope, that one won't go either for Martineau. Kept alive and grabbed now by Kentlake. Falcons with it. Edmonds-Woodway drops back on defense. That's T-Burt going in, kicks it back out. A little runner by Stannard, it's up and good.
And we called the game last year at the state tournament down in Tacoma that Stannard had some real big shots. I remember calling her name a number of times as a freshman at the Dome who didn't play like a freshman. Here she's a sophomore playing real tough, trying to keep her team in this game. Number 1, Jenna Stannard for the Falcons.
Fosberg with the miss for Edmonds-Woodway here in the corner. And now Falcons with it. 52-44, Edmonds-Woodway with the lead over the Kentlake Falcons out of the North Puget Sound League 4A. Air ball by Katie Wilton for Kentlake, and here come the Warriors. Boy, nobody there defensively. Missed the lay-in, but are going to have to earn them at the stripe for Fosberg. Was that why you were signaling get back, play defense? Not allow an open lay-in, but you missed the lay-in.
Oh, Tom, you know me too well. It's a lot more difficult when you have all 5 players, and this sounds like a duh statement, but when you have it's a 5-on-5 situation where you're actually back in your zone, if that's what you're playing, or you're matched up man-to-man. But right now it seems like Kentlake's always a man down or just not getting set on things. They're not getting their rotations fully set, and they're really paying the price, and right now it's at the free throw line.
Fosberg first free throw was good. Second one is on the way, rattles out, and it'll be Walton grabs the rebound for Kentlake. 4:27 to go, third quarter, and a 9-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway.
Edmonds-Woodway's come out here in their man-to-man this second half, being a little bit more aggressive.
Rebound grabbed down by Desiree Lane. She gets fouled on the way up, and they're going to say was on the floor, so it'll be baseline out of bounds by the Kentlake Falcons. They're going to reset the 30, and off we go. 4:17 to go, third quarter. 9-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway. Kentlake with it. Out of bounds play comes up, and we're going to have a push foul called. This will be on the shot, and it'll be T-Burt going to the free throw line. The foul is going to be called on Rebecca DeSala Good, her first.
You know, when you're coaching your team, you see things differently than the guys in the striped shirts, but from our vantage point up here, I know John Rasmussen didn't like that call, but I thought that was a great call. Great call by an official, just seeing that there's a little bit of displacement down there in the hip. It obviously changed the trajectory of that shot.
Free throw good. Tony T-Burt, 53-46 the score. The lead for Edmonds-Woodway with 4:10 to play in the third. At the top of the Peak tournament at Glacier Peak High School, Tom Lafferty with Joel Boyer. Todd Elvig at the controls here on STSPN, and at the controls of the ball is Zahira Walton off of the steal, gets stripped to the ball, no foul call, ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Edmonds-Woodway, so 26 on the shot clock. That'll stay there. And
by the way, did you notice that was a 6-foot-tall freshman right there with that pick and drive for the entire length of the court? Missed that lane, got taken out from behind a little bit, or excuse me, blocked from behind, but that's a pretty talented freshman right there, Walton.
Yeah, right there, that's Walton. Yeah, you look across 5'10", guard, okay, fine. 9 as the grade.
Absolutely.
Okay, you'll take a freshman like that, right?
Absolutely. He was a pretty good rebounder inside, playing low in that zone for him.
So it will be Edmonds-Woodway basketball with 3:50 to go in the third. Up by 7.
You see Kentlake's move their back line and their 2-3 up a little bit higher there, trying to understand the shooters that are on the wings. Kearney over in her favorite spot on the opposite end of the court.
Thought better of it, goes near side, 12 to shoot. Right corner, no. Be a miss by DeSala Good, but back up and in. And that was Ann Okulu with the bucket off the rebound, and it's 55-46, 9-point lead.
Desiree Lane for the Falcons looks at her coach, patting her chest, saying, "My bad, coach. I got pinned on the inside. Can't let that happen again." Her coach nods her head. "You're right. You can't let that happen again."
We're calling an offensive foul here. We're going back the other way. And Riaz Kanji will say player control foul on Tony T-Bert. Excuse me, yes, on T-Bert. That's your third personal foul and the third team foul. So she'll take a seat on the bench, as will Katie Wilton. So Edmonds-Woodway ball up by 9. Martineau. And that's an open shot. Fosberg with the bucket for Edmonds-Woodway. Leading by 11. They've led by as much as 12 in the ball game. Kentlake had an early 3-0 lead, but that fairly quickly evaporated. Edmonds-Woodway putting on a run, and here's a steal. Not yet. Still rolling for it on the ground.
We got a lot of bodies on the floor.
Have I mentioned that I don't like the coach able to call a timeout right there?
No. Well, I think we had 7 bodies, 6 or 7 bodies are on the floor right there. I'm not sure if anybody really had clear control, and yet a timeout got a word to Coach John Rasmussen.
We'll take a break. We're in the third quarter here, 57-46. Back with more after this.
You know that test drive I've been trying to get to? You're not going to believe this, but Raritan's of Monroe just delivered it to my work. I gotta go.
Too busy to schedule a test drive? Raritan's of Monroe will bring the test drive to you. It's part of our new concierge service.
Welcome back here to Glacier Peak High School. We've been talking about the super fan, I guess the 6th man, right, for the Kentlake Falcons.
Hey, we talked about the energy in this gym and
right.
how there wasn't.
He's it.
He's bringing it. He is bringing it for us all.
Yeah, because it's not the broadcasters. I can tell you that right now. Foul called. Riaz Kanji will make a call underneath there, and they're going to call it on. Ann Okulu will pick up the foul. Her second personal foul, third team foul. So team fouls all tied up at 3 apiece. 57-46, 11-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway at 2:15 to play in the third quarter. Falcons 3, down it goes for Faith Krachunas.
And that is a big shot right there for Kentlake, right when it's starting to just slowly slip more and more away. And they're still down by 8 right now, Tom, but that's a big 3 to cut it back to single digits.
Top of the key, that 3 ball is going to be an air ball. No good.
Brooke Kearney didn't have her spot.
And she's saying she thought, she was right. She's clapping her hands going, hey, that was partially blocked. I'd never miss like that.
I'm not sure she didn't sell that to an official. I did not see which hand it might have come off of. Maybe Todd Elvig can get us a replay at some point, but nonetheless, still Warrior basketball.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was touched, but like you said, hey, if you can sell it and somebody buys it, that's good. So Edmonds-Woodway with 15 to shoot. There she is again, but they'll swing it over left side. Rattle out, no good. That's a miss by Fosberg. Ball went out of bounds. Here we go. Oh, we just barely. She might be right. Todd, can you run that? Can you run that there one more time? Okay, we'll see. See if we can see that one more time.
Gosh, that's what I love.
We go to the video replay.
I love doing video replay. If only those referees would let us make the call for them.
We haven't missed a call in 5 years.
Oh, 5-10. In our career, Tom, I don't know if we've missed one. Just ask us. We'll tell you.
Deep in the corner as they work it around. 7 to shoot now for Kentlake. And it's going to come up a little long there for Lane, and cleared out here by Edmonds-Woodway. Here come the Warriors from the Wesco 3A, playing the Falcons from the North Puget Sound 4A. And here's a long outside shot, no good by Poling, and a foul called off the rebound. Let's see if we're going to slow it down. Okay, here we go. Out to the top.
Hard to tell. Can't see the rotation on the ball.
But hard for her to think that she would miss that badly.
Well, you know, Tom, most shooters, well, forget shooters. Most high school basketball players have been around will ever believe they could have missed the entire thing.
Good point. 19 to shoot here, 37 to go in the third quarter. The lead is 8 for Edmonds-Woodway. Kentlake with the basketball. Backing down, putting up, miss by Lane, back up and in. So Lane got the first miss, got her own rebound, put it back up and in, pulls them to within 6 here as we approach the end of the third quarter at Glacier Peak High School. Both these teams trying not to go 0-3 on the weekend.
Kind of our same scenario we had at the end of the first half was, can Kentlake get a stop right now?
Long outside three, that one rattles out, no good. Down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and the ball's going to go out of bounds with .9 to go. Falcons will get it, but they're the length of the floor away.
But you know what? Great job by Kentlake to not be down by more than 6 that they're going to end this quarter with.
They are. It's going to be 57-51, end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up here. It's Game 9 of the 2018 Top of the Peak Basketball Tournament right here on STSPN.com.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200+ national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
The best official in the history of girls basketball in the state of Washington, Riaz Kanji. How's that? Ken Roberts, coach of Snohomish, is doing the next game, looks at me like, you got to be kidding me. But I'll tell you what, there's no bigger advocate for high school sports than Riaz Kanji, too, by the way.
He believes in high school sports, absolutely.
You bet. He's out here. He had his son here last night working the game, and he's working this game and the championship game here. So
is he?
That's a lot of running up and down the floor. We like to give him that time because he goes back and watches the game. So now we're hearing him talk. And Ken Roberts got to get a tee the next. So here we go. It's a 9-point ball game. See if it's not going to go that way. It's going to be a miss on a 3 by T-Bird, but kept alive there by Kentlake, but it's stolen away by Edmonds-Woodway. Dribble in, split the defense, won't go for DeSala Good. She'll have to earn him at the free throw line. Boy, she found that little crease right through the defender.
Just enough.
And so the foul is going to be called, though, on T-Bird, her 4th personal foul.
One of the 2 seniors for the Falcons, playing a lot of minutes for him. Looks like Comstock looks over. T-Bird looked over to Coach Comstock, and looks like Morgan Comstock gave her the thumbs up and gave her the 4 fingers, saying, you got 4, play through it. We're down 10. We're going to need you.
Morgan Comstock graduated from Kentlake in 2007, played at Eastern, then transferred to Hawaii Pacific. She looks like she could still play, by the way.
I think she could. I think she wishes she had another 1 game of eligibility right about now. Just 1 quarter.
Outside shot won't go. Rebound controlled by Edmonds-Woodway, and a foul called. Overplay on the defense as Poling had it. And then Jenna Stannard comes up, kind of gives her a shove. That's going to be her 2nd personal foul, 6th team foul. So 1 more Edmonds-Woodway goes into the bonus. And it's a 10-point lead. 7 minutes to play. Nice pass. Beautiful pass to the baseline for Ingrid Fosberg with the bucket. So now Kentlake down by a dozen. So Edmonds-Woodway's equaled their biggest lead of the ball game.
Edmonds-Woodway's gone to more of that man-to-man defense in the second half, and has definitely seen, well, some mixed results, but I think a little bit more.
A little run there as they get the fast break. Had the numbers, got the bucket, and it's out to 14-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway. So I think John Rasmussen is going to be a little happier with the results here as they head back into Wesco 3A play starting this week. Foul called.
Well, I think John was happy when they didn't shoot 11% in the first half from the three-point line. So a win makes you happy as a coach, but seeing your team start to play a little bit more like you've seen them play all season will definitely help.
Edmonds-Woodway, after this tournament, in fact, they play the Snohomish Panthers on the 4th, Friday the 4th at Snohomish. So that's their opening of league play in the second half. Little turnaround won't go. Kentlake gets back to action also on the 4th. And they play crosstown Kentwood at Kentwood High School. So back into back into action here next Friday.
And it's kind of one of those things that is changed up a little bit. We used to always play a league game or two or maybe three, but now the way things have kind of shifted, it hasn't been. It's been pretty natural to start the season with a couple league games, which maybe you're not as used to. Kind of have that preseason mentality a little bit kind of mixed in there, but a lot of coaches are choosing to put some of their non-league games kind of in that center there around that Christmas time, which has always been, but it seems more and more trying to get some of those games in to help that RPI that we've talked about so often, to really try to get the best competition where you can travel places across the state and different locations to be able to get your RPI out playing the best teams.
And you can only play 20 games, and if you're going to play 3 in this tournament, well, you've got to redistribute what you're doing. You may be a little thin early on in the season too.
True, absolutely. And just attending the Lake Stevens Snohomish girls game last night. I think Lake Stevens had only played 5 or 6 games at that point.
Right.
Where Snohomish I think had played 9 or 10. You know, so it just kind of depends on when you get your games in, and you have some freedom about your scheduling. But that RPI has really changed a lot. We get to see a lot more exciting matchups, I think, this time of the year and even later as we go.
And Snohomish got the win last night over Lake Stevens. We'll talk about that with Ken Roberts when he does our next game here on STSPN. And we'll talk on the other side, Randy Edens, who's going to do the games 3 and 4 of the day with us here. So
you'll get both coaches.
We'll get both.
Oh.
We'll get both guys to tell us how they thought the previous night went. Free throw won't go. Rebound by Lane, back up, offline, no good. Okulu grabs the rebound. Quickly up the floor. Edmonds-Woodway. And a foul is going to be called. Got down to Ingrid Fosberg, tried to kind of back her way. She's a little bit too far underneath, but Zahira Walton, the freshman, picks up the foul. That'll be her first personal foul. Both teams at 7 team fouls, so bonus the final 5:27 of this one. High arching shot goes in for Fosberg. The lead is 13 points. Biggest lead of the game for Edmonds-Woodway. And Fosberg will get another. Averages 10.4 points per ball game. Next one, that one's going to be short. Kind of a scrap for the rebound, and they're going to. And Okulu kind of exerted her will there. Kind of gave a little, as you called earlier, displacement.
A little too much of her will, I think, maybe.
So the foul called there, and free throws coming up here for Kentlake. Kentlake, the North Puget Sound League Cascade Division. Morgan Comstock, their coach in her first year. Won 12-2 in league play, 21-9 a year ago. The state tournament defeated Lake Stevens and lost to Central Valley.
Just another one in that Central Valley buzzsaw. That.
Yeah. There's our flag guy.
Our super fan, our instant energy in this gym at the 10 o'clock Egg McMuffin game.
11-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway. They're looking for Kearney because she's been hot, and then we have a travel call. After the steal, commit the violation, and we go back the other way, and Edmonds-Woodway will have it. Final 5:11 of the game. can hear a super fan in the background.
I think you want some defense.
Didn't get any there. A little runner by Adrian Poling was pretty easy right there. Runner, standard won't go. Okulu grabs the rebound, just wrestled the ball away. Got the outlet, now long down court pass, easy laying up and good. Nicely done there by Edmonds-Woodway. Brionen with the shot, Kristen, and it's a 70-55, 15-point lead now for Edmonds-Woodway. So looking like Kentlake is going to be the odd team out and end up losing all 3 games on the day.
Let's reiterate the grades of these girls in this Kentlake squad, looking at only 2 seniors with a lot of sophomores and a pretty talented freshman in Zahira Walton. So this is a team that you feel that did a great job wanting to be in this tournament, wanting to have these games, wanting to improve their RPI, but also challenge themselves. And even if they're going to go 0-3, which, well, the odds are probably, with 4 minutes remaining, down 15. But this is a great tournament to be in, not just for this year, but for them to have the experience over hopefully next year and the year after that, to see them grow through these tough games, some tough losses, but against some really good competition.
And my guess is Morgan Comstock, if she hasn't already, has gone to Brian Hill and say, we'd like to come back next year.
I'm sure looking at the quality of teams and the quality of games that a lot of these games are being played at, just seeing scores and just the level of play, I think all of them or a number of them are going to say, can we come back? This is going to be a great tournament, great facility, great place for us to come.
Well, and we made this Kentlake team maybe a year away, right?
Yep.
We may not see them in the Tacoma Dome here in a couple of months.
Sure.
But next year, the year after, there you go.
But you want to have those games, and even if it's a year or two early, you want to have those games. You don't just want to as a coach, you don't often want to play a schedule that, wow, we were 7-0 in non-league, and then we went 5-8 in league or something like that. It's like, well,
that's when the TV guys put the cupcakes out on the track. And
don't get the Husky fans going. Come on now. Gosh.
But you don't want a cupcake schedule.
No, especially and honestly, before it had a lot to do, with the media, they're not able to get around. We talked about before, when you have different reporters, kind of weighing in on the Associated Press poll for the whole state.
Right.
Well, just in all honesty and fairness, a lot of the guys from Seattle and this area aren't able to go watch those Spokane teams play. No, are they that great? Are they number 1 or 2? Or are they, they're 4 or 5, And so having the RPI really, I think, has really aided in trying to get the best teams to the Dome. But when you look at the teams in this tournament, bringing it back to that, Glacier Peak, a habitual regional state team program. Kentlake was just there last year, of course, and been there a number of times before. Lewis and Clark, for a number of years there in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, they were 4 out of 5, I believe it was. Of which they got Brittany Kennedy, one of the mainstays on those championship teams, is now an assistant coach for them again. These programs are just through and through so constant and so consistent going to the Dome that these teams want to be back here. Chiawana is one. I know they're a newer school in the last handful of years, but they have proven to be so formidable out of the Tri-Cities.
Well, in every sport, they hit the ground running.
Absolutely.
Kind of like Glacier Peak did.
Sure. You're really just putting another school in a hotbed of talent and giving more athletes a chance to produce, which has just been fantastic. Another one right there by freshman Zahira Walton. Great full court steal and then come for the entire length of the court for the lay-in. Yeah,
Zahira Walton, she's going to be heavily recruited, I'm guessing.
Well, when you're as a freshman with that length and some ball handling ability, her ability to rebound inside, those are all things that coaches start to notice. Love to see her continue in this Kentlake Falcon program, playing for Morgan Comstock, and see what she can do.
That's her now with the ball. Nice move, goes around the defender, but can't get it. But now she's going to try to get her own rebound. She does. Surrounded, jump ball will be the call, and the arrow.
John Rasmussen was trying for a timeout on that one, I think, too. And I don't blame him. Hey, if you get someone to buy it.
Coach all the way to the end. 70-58, 12-point lead for Edmonds-Woodway, the final 2:08. And here come the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. On top, Martineau looking. Goes all the way down, then kicks it right back out on top. Kearney's open. Can she hit this one? No. She hit, did we say 4 in a row earlier?
Yeah, I think it was 4 in a row.
And, you know, we're going to start talking about our player of the game. I think it's Kearney.
You know, I thought Kearney had those threes weren't just all in a row. They were at opportunistic times that you felt Kentlake was really making that push to try to take that lead, and Kearney has always had that answer in that first half for the Warriors.
Right.
It's a pretty highly contested first half. I know it's gotten a little bit away. It's 12 points now. It's for the Falcons being down, but 10 right there. Thiebert with a great take. But I think Kearney, I'm going to vote with you on this one, Tom. Kearney was a great one that really was opportunistic with those 3-pointers and that scoring in that first half.
Edmonds-Woodway with the basketball. They're going to say no shot. It's going to be a 1-and-1 coming up here, and that's going to send DeSala Good to the free throw line. Walton picks up the foul. It's going to be her second personal foul and the 8th team foul.
Another great rebound right there on the missed free throw by Walton.
Yep. Underneath, and that's going to be Sammy Smalls with the bucket. It's an 8-point lead. So Kentlake has been hanging around, but they're just going to run out of seconds here as we're inside a minute to play.
Well, and this is one of those opportunities being down 8 points. You'd love to see, hey, extend this game. Maybe get a foul early on, get that steal, maybe put some full court pressure. Don't just be content with that loss. Really,
Right.
You know, see what you can do.
Yeah, but they just wasted about 20 seconds before they finally took that down to 4 on the shot clock.
And that's one of those opportunities, one of those things that coach, like, if you're trying to get that foul, but all of a sudden not, well, don't foul. 4 seconds left.
Right.
They're dribbling out past about by the Grizzly on the middle of the court right there. They're going to have to take a tough shot most likely. But, again, young team.
Live and learn.
Young team, first-year coach. Fantastic on both sides. I'd say a talented young team. I think a coach is probably going to be a very, very good coach if she continues going in this. But situational stuff, you know, and those are difficult. Those are difficult things for you. And you were just down by 15 a few moments ago, but you made that nice little run to get back into it. They're down by 8.
Next free throw is good. Timeout called by Edmonds-Woodway. We'll step aside. 36.6 to go. It's a 6-point lead. Excuse me, a 10-point lead. 72-62. Back with more from Glacier Peak right here on STSPN.com.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Edmonds-Woodway with a 72-62 lead over Kentlake. The final 36.6 seconds of this ball game here in the top of the peak tournament. Kentlake going to go 0-3 in the tournament, and Edmonds-Woodway will go 1-3. I guess the battle for 7th and 8th place, if they're giving out trophies that low. And a block foul called here. 1 and 2. Did I say 1 and? I said 1 and 3. I was giving them an extra loss.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And, you know, that was a surprising move. To me, it looked like John Rasmussen calling that timeout and coming out in that aggressive full court press. Gets a foul called. Thiebert missing that free throw, but, you know, really, Kentlake wants to make this game as long as possible.
Right.
This last 28.1 seconds, and they can do that by scoring when the clock stopped. They can get back in this game, which they're down 10. Is it likely? No, it's not likely, but let's just coach all the way to the end. Coach all the way to the end there. Morgan Comstock for Kentlake calling that timeout for her team, trying to maybe put a press on or something like that. But a little surprising by Coach Rasmussen coming out with such an aggressive press. You want these 28 seconds to come off the clock, and I know you want to have situational basketball, but when you're up 10, press and aggressively get called for a foul. It makes me scratch my head. John knows his team a lot better than I know his team, but surprised me. We'll just leave it at that.
Still to come, the 11:45 game will be Peninsula and WF West. At 1:30, it'll be Sunnyside and Chiawana, and then the championship game at 3:15. It's between Glacier Peak and Lewis and Clark here at Glacier Peak High School.
And that's a rematch of the regional round last year.
Right.
When Glacier Peak had to travel over to Spokane to play Lewis and Clark in the first round of the regionals. And well, in the words of Brian Hill, we got thumped. Those are not my words. Those are Coach Brian Hill of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. We went over there and got thumped. But it's the exact same lineup as last year for Lewis and Clark, with a lot of juniors and sophomores on the team. Now there are a lot of seniors and juniors, led by Jacinta Buckley, the UNLV commit. It would be pretty exciting to see that Glacier Peak LC game for that championship.
So final 24 seconds now. Edmonds-Woodway will get the win. We have a foul called first with 18 seconds to go.
Hey, help me with this. She got the ball. Somebody else ran out of bounds. She passed it to her, and she passed it in.
Yeah, right there we saw that inbounds for the Warriors. A.J. Martineau started with the ball out of bounds, and her teammate Adrian Poling jumped out of bounds. Martineau passed it to her out of bounds, and then checked in to the court and was able to receive the pass from Poling. The 5 seconds to get it in play starts as soon as Martineau has the ball. So you got to do it quickly, but it's absolutely legal, and it's a way that you can a lot of times confuse if you don't have anybody guarding the inbounder, which is Martineau in that situation to start with.
There you go. Asked and answered, Your Honor. And that will be asked and answered for Edmonds-Woodway. They get the win 74-63 over the Kentlake Falcons. We're going to talk with Brooke Kearney, our player of the game, coming up here after a timeout. Again, the final score, 74-63, Edmonds-Woodway over Kentlake. Back with more as we wrap it up from Glacier Peak High School right after this timeout.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200+ national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
And welcome back here to Glacier Peak High School. 74-63, the final score. Edmonds-Woodway with the win over Kentlake. And Brooke Kearney is our player of the game. Good job.
Thank you.
Was it harder or easier getting up and playing at 10 o'clock in the morning?
I was just ready to go. I was just ready to play.
What time did you guys meet at school and all that?
We started at 7:20.
You did this morning?
No.
Oh,
we don't have school. We're on break.
Yeah. So but you met at school to come here?
No, we just came straight here.
Oh, really? Everybody came here? Cool.
At 9.
Let's talk about the game. It was kind of close, and then you decided, hey, I like that spot right over there in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Did you know before the game that I may be hot outside today?
No, actually, I was not having a good warm-up, but I just keep shooting, let it go.
So is that something for you? I know a lot of times shooters say, if I have a bad warm-up, I'm going to shoot great in the game, or vice versa a little bit. Did you feel that sometimes?
Oh, I always feel that, but I just keep shooting. Good
for you. Now, you guys talk about, you guys shoot a lot of threes.
Yeah.
There's no weirdness to that. Everybody understands that. Talk a little bit about the days that you're not shooting as well, other teammates are, the days that today, you were shooting phenomenal in that first half specifically. Yeah. How do you guys share that? What's that kind of camaraderie for you guys?
Well, when one of us is not shooting, we keep attacking and finding the open man. Ingrid or Adrian are usually having an on day. One of us is always on, but we always find the open man.
So what's ahead now? Now you got to start play. You play Snohomish, right?
Yeah.
Next up, and then it's
Friday.
right through the Wesco 3A.
Yeah, we have some tough games coming up, but we'll play through it. We'll get it.
Who's the toughest? Let me ask it this way: where do you hate to play at?
Oh, I just long drives like Oak Harbor, like we just played. I just do not like long drives because everyone's like tired coming off the bus and all that. But we still play through it.
But now you think that also, then they have to always make that long drive to see you guys too, right?
Everyone has to do it at some point. So.
Well, congratulations, good job.
Thank you.
There you go. That's our player of the game, and we'll get a picture.
Okay.
Hold up the shirt, and we'll do it that way. And we're going to remind everybody that the final score is 74-63 Edmonds-Woodway over Kentlake. Joel, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, as always. Love it.
Busy day, and you're heading out.
Busy day. Got a couple soccer games. Got a basketball game to go to. Yep, got a lot of family responsibilities.
There you go. So Peninsula and WF West coming up here in about a half an hour, so stay tuned. Again, the final score is 74-63 Edmonds-Woodway over Kentlake. For Joel Boyer and Todd Elvig here on STSPN, I'm Tom Lafferty. Good afternoon from Glacier Peak.